Boston, totally different story. Boston's obviously super diverse. It's a lot of young people because it's all schools, it's all universities, and they're all from Asia, all foreign students, and they're all Chinese, they're all from these Asian countries.
Bro, that's crazy stuff.
And there's also, it's a little dangerous. There's a little criminal element, and everyone on the campuses, they're militant left wing. And that was kind of a culture shock. And I kind of realized in that moment, most of the country looks like this now, actually. New York, L.A., Miami, the big cities, and most people live in the cities, they all look like this because of immigration, because of left-wing progressive politics.
Correct.
And I kind of said, in that moment, my slice of America that I grew up with is a dying breed. It's literally going extinct. And I like my upbringing. I love my upbringing. I want to, if I have a family, I want to raise my kids in a place like that. But in 50 years, will there be places like that? The country's going to become majority minority in the 2030s. So when I'm old and gray and I have grandkids, what is the country they're going to look like?
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of these 90s liberals are just basically like the boomers and Generation X, right? What happened with those people is that I think those kind of liberals are just kind of lazy. They're kind of lazy politically, right? They're just the people. Just do, you know what, Greg? Just do whatever the hell you want. Don't it's not because it's not for me. It's not with me. It's not a problem. Kind of attitude, right? Not only that, you have the other element that is, as long as as long as you're over there, it's not my problem. But then you don't develop any duty to your community either, right? And the problem is that it's kind of lazy approach to society. You ask me, because if you're still lefty, but you still say no, allow these illegals coming here. Oh, it's okay, it's an immigrant. As long as they're just supporting their family, that's okay. That's kind of a very lazy way of approaching some of these problems, and I think that's what these liberals from the 90s were. Then of course you have these communists that just came by,
And you're questioning this. You're questioning. You're having this dialogue. You're asking yourself.
Exactly. Libertarians, 90s liberal either became libertarians or some went the other way and became far left. Yeah, you know how libertarians are. Let live kind of situation. Like as long as you're not, whatever against my rights, I'm okay. Just eliminate 90% of the government. It's like, bro, but who's gonna enforce these libertarians' ideas? Like God? No government? Like. At some point,
I'm concerned that I'm going to lose the identity of what it means to be an American. Is it more that? Is it more Caucasian? Is it more white? What do you mean it's going to lose its identity?
It's all of that. It's all of that. It's not going to be white people. It's not going to be Christian. It's not going to be speaking English. It won't be safe. No baseball. No hot. Like all these different layers of identity are kind of being.
Who are you sharing this concern with at the time? Are you talking to friends, mentor, peers, relatives, parents? Who are you talking to about this?
It's all my friends in college.
Okay, so this is on BU. You're talking to them.
Yes.
And are they agreeing, disagreeing? What are they saying?
Disagreeing.
Well, we all basically agreed. So we all met at there was a watch party for the first debate between Trump and Clinton. All four of us. We were the only Trump supporters on the whole campus. Yeah. And we all met at this watch party.
Is this the one that said you'd be in jail? No, that's the second one, right?
Yes, that's the second one. So it was at the first one. We all met. And we developed this kind of tight-knit friendship.
What month is this? Is this September of 15?
September 16.
September 16.
Getting closer to the election.
Got it.
Right. And so, we all get together. And what was interesting at that time, and this was kind of like a cultural moment, is that remember that Trump, when he came around, there was just this explosion on the right wing. They called it the alternative right. That had a very different connotation in 2016 than it did in 17. Because
it could be, I see what you're saying. So I think the only benefit of libertarians is maybe it can be a stepping stone for lefties towards conservatism. Maybe, because it's like, maybe, I see what you're saying, maybe. Or it can be from, maybe. I think you're right. But I think some of these folks, they go hard libertarians, but they really don't understand the concept of force. A lot of these ideas, if there's not a mechanism of enforcement behind it, mean nothing. Libertarians, 90% of the government gone? So what are you going to do? Like, who's going to enforce this? Then all of a sudden you have a bunch of Sharia Muslim people coming in. Then say goodbye to libertarianism. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, unless there's a strong enforcement really just controlling some of these ideas, none of this stuff makes sense. I think it's more, I'm a strong conservative with very strong libertarian ideas when it comes down to the economical and governmental aspect of it. But I'm not going to go 90%. I can go 65, 70, 65, 70, of reductions to the government. But I want a strong military. Don't get me wrong. Strong military and strong policemen. That's me.
In 2016 and even 2015, what it meant, up to that point, the GOP and conservatism meant kind of like one thing. It meant like Rick Santorum, like cultural conservatism, traditional,
Karl Rove,
right, all that kind of stuff. And Trump comes along and says, well, I'm kind of agnostic on healthcare. We just want to take care of everybody. He was more of a Pat Buchanan, Sam Francis like nationalist. And so there was this explosion on 4chan and on Twitter of a lot of young right-wing guys that were asking, well, what does it mean to be right-wing? And so there's guys like Stefan Molyneux and Jared Taylor and Steven Pinker and Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro. All these guys come into the fold, and it's much more aggressive. It's younger. It's more dynamic. It's a lot of new ideas or maybe old ideas presented in a new way. And so we were kind of holding like this salon, like this intellectual salon at the Tasty Burger by Fenway, talking about all these new people that are coming around. Richard Spencer, for that matter, Peterson, race and ideas like race realism, like Western chauvinism, people like Gav McInnes. And we were all kind of developing our ideas and what we thought was right. And ironically, none of these guys were even white. One of them was Turkish. One of them was actually Assyrian. I know you're Assyrian.
Who was that?
So he's an Assyrian guy from Australia.
Wow.
Yeah, some young man.
Wow. Was he a Christian man or no?
He was Christian.
A Syrian man from Australia.
That's funny.
Interesting. Okay.
And one of them was Jewish even. And so he was Russian Jewish. And a lot of people say about me, I mean, I'm an American ethnic. I'm not English or German. I'm
Fuentes. What's Fuentes?
Mexican.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. The real, when it comes down to Andrew Wilson, I think you're right. It's what you say is the Andrew Wilson argument of the force doctrine being the only real determinant of human behavior. Yeah. You know what? Even if that's the case, if we were like 98% white, let's say 98% or even 90% white, I think the concept of libertarianism will be stronger because you have almost a homogeneous society and they all understand their job in this community. But then I don't think at this point we cannot do it. If there was even a 95% white, right, European main, right, from Portugal all the way to to Russia, to the northern countries, even all the way to Iceland, to even Russia, and so massive we can just be in the same page. But that's not the case currently.
Who's your dad's Mexican?
My father's half Mexican, yes.
What's his other half?
Irish.
And then mom?
She's all Italian.
All Italian. Parents, when we're talking to the crew, they're telling me that mom had some influence politically. Is it mom that had more influence politically or dad?
I really wasn't too influenced in that way. Really more by my grandmother, by my mom's mother. She was very conservative.
Who did she believe in? Who was her heroes? She would say, Nick, you got to follow this guy. Nick, you got to read this book. Nick, you got to watch this. Who would she talk about?
She loved Mark Levin.
I got it. Okay. So super safe, conservative, pro-Israel. This is who your grandmother was. Okay.
But then he said, like, half Mexican. What does that mean? Like, is he European or not? Half Mexican, half right. But Mexican is just a nationality.
So now let's fast forward to where you're at with Trump. He's there. You're on BU. You're talking to these guys, Jordan Peterson, Gavin McInnes, a Syrian guy from Australia.
Yep.
Even one guy that's Turkish, Jewish. You're talking to all these guys. What is that looking like? What's happening with you at that time?
So we're debating. We're really kind of getting down into what it means to be right-wing. Because like I said, I'm having this evolution. I was libertarian from like 12 to 17. Trump kind of changed the way I think about things. Then I'm in college and I'm meeting these people and I'm on Twitter. I'm looking at all these new intellectual figures and we're debating, for example, the idea of race. Immigration is the issue of 2016. We're talking about illegal immigration, legal immigration, and we're talking about the big topic is the demographic change. America was a white country. It's becoming a non-white country through immigration. And we're talking about the impact that that's going to have. What does it really mean for us? Yes, they're going to vote Democrat, probably. Will they vote Democrat forever? Yeah, they're not quite like us. Can they ever be like us? What does it mean to be white versus black, or white versus any other race for that matter? And we kind of get into the idea, I guess maybe the big idea is the politics of identity. That politics maybe is less about, whereas libertarians are obsessed with individualism, which is an abstract concept, the individual as it relates to the state. This is abstract. We're now talking about the politics of identity, which is concrete, which is particular, not general, not abstract, but concrete and particular. You have white people and black people. They come from specific places, and they bring with them their genetics. They bring with them their culture, their way of doing things. And we're saying we less believe in conservatism than we believe in America specifically. And that was kind of, I guess, the big pivot I made. And that's why I started my show, which was called America First, which was this nationalistic show as opposed to libertarian or conservative.
Okay, so you start your show.
I also said he's 23, and me said he was 2% black. I think that's more. You know what's crazy about that? I think those small percentages is more like a margin error, right? It's like everybody has a percentage of Jewish on themselves, but I think that's more like a margin error or something like that. You see what I'm saying?
America First. You're pro-Trump. You're supportive of Trump. You're going through what you're going through. Give me a couple inflection points where you start kind of flipping and you're no longer pro-Israel. What were some of those events? Was it a book? Was it a conversation? Was it things you studied? What was that like?
Well, the biggest thing is that I met this girl named Cassie Dillon. She was a fellow at Daily Wire. She now goes by Cassie Akiva. So she was in school around the same time. She was in Western Massachusetts studying. And we met because we ran in the same college Republican circles. And she's the one that got me this show at RSBN, Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, that's her.
So she's still with Daily Wire?
Yeah, she was there. She left, and then she came back.
Okay.
And so, I met her, and at that time, she was a Christian. She converted to Judaism. She married a Jewish guy and converted. When I met her, she was a Christian, or she had been raised Christian. And we became very good friends. We went to the Christmas party, and we hung out, and I went on her show, and she got me my show.
Nothing like a attractiveness, just a friendship.
It might have been going in that direction,
Okay.
but no, nothing like that materialized. So, yeah, we were just friends, and
we were just friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, just friends.
Started to notice something was up because Trump's doctrine was America first. And that was so attractive to me. He said, we will no longer be misled by the siren song of globalism. It's going to be Americanism, not globalism. And that really sunk into me. And I'll never forget, this was in December 2016. This is what did it for me. And I wrote an article about it on my blog. I had a blog at that time. And I noticed that Obama, who was still the president during the lame duck period, he told our ambassador to the United Nations not to veto a resolution condemning the West Bank settlements. So there's a resolution saying Israel's settlements in the West Bank are illegal. Normally, the United States vetoes that on behalf of Israel to protect them. But Obama instructed our ambassador to abstain. And so the resolution went through. And everybody on the right wing said Obama's an anti-Semite. He hates Jews because he did that. And I said, wait a second. I went through and I did the research, and I said ever since 1967, during the Six-Day War, when Israel occupied the West Bank and Gaza Strip, it has been the official U.S. policy that we do not support the civilian settlements. That's technically illegal under international law. I said, so all
that in international law, that's international law. Who's going to enforce international law? Some of this stuff is just kind of redundant. Like international law, who enforces international law? Really, have you thought about that? Who really enforces international law? A bunch of countries under who? A bunch of countries under who? Like, you need an enforcement to just obligate each country to just enforce that international law in itself. Some of this stuff is kind of crazy when you
Obama
start
did
thinking
was
about
really
it.
uphold the same policy that every president did, Republican and Democrat, yet they're calling him a Jew hater. I said, I don't think Obama hates Jews. Obama's supported by the Jewish left. People like Saul Alinsky mentored him or influenced him.
I think the Jews voted, what, 80% in favor of Obama? Or 90%?
So I don't think he hates Jews. I think that he's just carrying out our policy. And so I said, how is that any different than when, let's say, a conservative critiques BLM, they get called a racist. You critique feminism, you get called a sexist.
Where were you working at that time? Were you working anywhere? You were independent?
I was independent.
Okay, so you're not with anybody while you're writing this.
Right.
So you're free to write and say whatever you want. Okay,
Right.
continue.
Yeah, so I was just on my own blog, and so I wrote that out. I said, this is hypocritical. I said, and this is something that crops up over and over, is this double standard when it comes to anti-Semitism, when it comes to Israel, and I called this out. And Cassie Dillon, who was my friend, I would raise this issue with her, and I would criticize Ben Shapiro very harshly. He was very anti-Trump at that time. And I said, I think Ben Shapiro is Israel first. And I think that when Trump says in his inaugural, it's America first, why is it that Israel gets all this foreign aid? They're the number one recipient for 50 years. They're not a poor country. Why is it that much largesse?
Man, he's bad. I'm talking, he wrote a book called, what, The 12 Rules for Radicals? I think it is. Let me know if I'm correct on that. That book is just literally a guy who had to be an anarchist and just get away with it. It's insane.
And so I would press her on this and other related questions. And eventually she threw arms up in, I think it was March 2017. And she said, we are no longer in the same movement. She said, you are anti-Israel. The way you're going about this is anti-Semitic.
This is Casey.
This is, Cassie Dillon.
Cassie Dillon.
She goes, you're attacking Shapiro and in an anti-Semitic way. I don't like your tone. She said, and I really want nothing to do with you anymore. And so she blocked me on Twitter. And my whole friend group, who was with Daily Wire, Elliot Hamilton, Aaron Bandler, all these other writers at Daily Wire, they all blocked me. They would not talk to me. And then...
Now, you guys all know each other. You've hung out on your friends.
Yes.
In what context do you guys hang out? Because you're not with Daily Wire.
Right. So we would hang out at... we hung out at the Christmas party for the Massachusetts College Republicans that she hosted. And,
Got it.
I did her show a couple of times.
So you did do her show on Daily Wire.
Not on Daily Wire, on RSBN.
Okay,
she had
got
a
it.
show.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
they all block you. They want to have nothing to do with you at the time.
Right.
We're not on the same page. We're going different direction.
Role of radicals, yeah. Would you do now allowing people they ban off the platform back on? Do you think Nick will be back? I think he will be back. I think Benjamin Owens is going to be back as well. There's going to be a lot of guys that I used to follow that are going to be back. Because right now, this is what happened. The right need to focus. I think the talk about Israel and the Jews is just a damn distraction. I don't even care, to be honest. It's a problem. It's a problem that can be dealt with momentum later on. But right now, my main concern is the migration. Illegal migration. That's my main concern right now. Especially a lot of these people that come from Muslim countries. It's just a problem. I don't want to hear anything about, because I think that Israel and the state and the Jews and all that stuff, it's just a distraction for what we can fix right now.
Has she yet converted to Judaism or not yet? She's still a Christian at the time.
she was.
Stephen Molyneux, I used to listen to him a lot too. Yeah, great. I used to listen to him every day. Yeah, Stephen Molyneux. Yeah, I used to watch him all the time.
Gun the conversion at
Got
that
it.
point.
And were you
Stephen
seeing
Molyneux,
the evolution
wow.
of...
That's crazy. That's the old school, man. Wow. That is very 2016, 2017. Even Alex Jones, bring him back. Alex Jones was gaining a lot of traction back then. He even surpassed some of the lefties, the former lefty, channels.
that happening or
I
no?
was, yes.
Was she seeing somebody while you guys were talking or no?
Yep.
I don't
correct.
believe she was.
So, yep,
Okay,
She's
so-
been to Israel a bunch of times.
So why was she wanting to convert? Why
No,
was she...
you're right there. You're right in the moment. You are. I'm 37, so we probably in this. You're probably a Gen Xer, probably Gen Xer or early, late Gen Xer. I mean, early Gen Xer. No, late Gen Xer. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, we're in the same ballpark.
going through that process? What was her reasoning? Did she tell you?
No, we never discussed it on an intimate level.
So till today, you guys have never cleared it up why she became a...
Never, no.
Well, maybe she can send you an email because I want to know. I'm curious to know why that
I do
happens.
too, yeah.
Yeah, I'd want to know why that happened. Okay, so now when that happens, you're on August 18th. When's your birthday?
August 18th.
Bake
Okay,
Alaska,
so-
bro. Bake Alaska. He used to have very good. Bake Alaska. He used to have very good debate, and he was one of the few that actually managed to just get what's this dude? It's not